Hello, my name's Ollie Furnival. Welcome to this video on revision techniques. Please follow me at YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Teaching and Learning. Email oliverfurnival@gmail.com and Twitter at IBcoordinator_. If you've got any questions about this video is revision techniques number 4, getting your resources in order. So this should really be done at the start of a course, but it's never too late to get going. First thing you need to do when getting your revision resources in order is start at the beginning. What is it that the course is asking you to do? So for this video, the example I'm using is economics for the International Baccalaureate Diploma Programme. But it doesn't matter because what I'm going to show you applies to any subject that you might be studying, whether it's GCSE, IGCSE, A-Level or the IB. So what we're going to do is, what I suggest you do is use Google Docs and create yourself a folder called Revision. And when you go on to Revision, you can see that what I've got here is economics. And I've used the guide to break up economics into the 4 sections. And what I'm going to do today, the example I'm going to show you is section 1, microeconomics. So, if we look through the official IB guide here, if you want to point here, you can see when you get the guide that there's syllabus content that no doubt your teacher would have shown you throughout the course. So here we can see syllabus content, microeconomics. And what we're going to do is look at how we can see what the exams or coursework or the internal assessments are going to ask you to do, and find different ways that suit you to make sure that you're ready for the assessments. Okay? So as I said, let's start here on microeconomics, section 1.1 of the course. This is good to start with because it was the first part of the course that you would have started on. So it might be the least fresh in your mind, okay? So unit 1.1 for microeconomics is called competitive markets, demand and supply. So what I've done here is I've created a table. You might need to come closer to show the lettering. So I've created a table here. So we've got 1.1, competitive markets, demand and supply. And the first thing on the guide is markets, okay? So in markets, you're going to get subtopics. Some of the topics have up to 9 subtopics, I believe, in economics part 1, and some of them just 1. So make sure you know what a subtopic is, whether it's SL or HL. So you obviously know if you're doing SL or HL. So I've separated those. And then what you've got to start to do is think, where's my information? Okay, so here we've got subtopic, the nature of markets. And if you can see here, the guide tells you what you need to know, okay? Outline the meaning of the term market. Nice and simple at the beginning. And you can notice here that we've got command terms, okay, to outline, okay? So what you need to do, make sure you understand what you need or what you're going to have to revise. So what you should do for that is you should go to a command term glossary, and you can go all the way down and you can look for the command term outline, and you know that the exam or the assessment is going to say you must give a brief account or summary. That's what outline means. There it is. It comes up in economics. Also look at the other DP subjects you study, and you can see that that skill transfers to other subjects. So this is straight from the IB guide. Nature of markets, under markets, I need to outline the meaning of the term market. It does, it's an SL and HL core. So what I've got to do on my table now is I've got to find where my information is on there. So all you've got to put here is it in your class notes? If it's in your class notes, you might want to give your folder here a nice title, and you can go through and find it hopefully in your class notes. It might be here that you find it in your textbook. So you're like, oh, I don't know where it is, but here's your economics textbook, and all you've got to do is look here in a book and you can find it. So on this table here, you can say, for example, page 125, okay? Or maybe online. Your teacher may have given you a website Schoology, for example. Or indeed, there may be external websites that you can find this information, but of course do check with your teacher that those external websites are good enough for what the IB, in this case, is asking. So, you've got to find out where your information is, and then you've got to order it. So put it into order so that it's good for you. And that's up to you how you do that. You know best how you work. And then what you've got to do, obviously, you've got to revise that. As I said, this is very beginning of the course. So what you need to do now is think, well, how am I going to remember what it means to outline the meaning of the term market? And you can see here on this part of the table here, we've got revision products I have created. So what you do, you look at the information, and from there you can create, as you can see there, flashcards, bullet points, quiz, okay, PowerPoint, presentations on your phone, mind maps. You might want to make a summary essay, post-it notes, create a website, look at a website, or old-fashioned poster. And what you can do is, look here, as I've shown on some of my other videos, I've been going through these revision techniques, which is what I've just read out to you, and this is the same list that's on the Google Doc there, and you go through each technique and you find one that fits the way that you learn. So this here we've got, well, how do I do it, what do I do, follow the instructions there, and then it gives you the outcomes of that. So what I've done here, I've got competitive markets, and if you see, I've created tables there. I've got demand, so I've got the law of demand, and you can see throughout the IB is telling me to explain the negative causal relationship between price and quantity demanded. A little bit more difficult than the first thing to do. So there, you know you've got to explain. What do you do? Well, you go through, you make sure you understand what the command term explain means. As I say, this is the same for all your subjects with explain. Here you now need to give a detailed account, including reasons and causes. So you've got to find where you did that information. So, as I said, hopefully you're watching this video at the start of your course, but if not, you've got to look back, find out where the information is, and from there, once you get your information, note down where it is, and from there you create a product that best suits your way of learning. And it's important to fill this in as you go along, because 1 week later, when maybe you've been studying other subjects, you can come back to economics, oh my God, where's my work on the law of demand? And here you are, you found it, you wrote last week, folder 1, pages 1 to 10, for example, or textbook, pages 85 to 89, and from that, maybe you decided, well, I'm going to use flashcards here, okay? And you might even go further and say top drawer of my left hand cabinet. So what you're doing is you're just writing on here where everything is, and then you don't need to start from scratch every time you think you have to go back to economics. What you've got the topic, got the command term straight from the IB there, you know what part of the course it relates to, you know where the information is, and then you've got your product that you can then pull out. And it is important as well, if you can see on economics, economics here, microeconomics, I've labelled it 1.5 is for HL only, so I put that at the start, okay, so that I know exactly what I'm revising and for what subject I'm doing my SL and HL in. Okay, thank you very much for listening.